Welcome to another episode of the Headlight Restoration Pro, where I'll be showing you how to take headlights like these, which are a pain in the ass, which I consider one of my nemesis, and also the fog lights and the emblem restoration, and turn them into something that looks a bit more like this. Better than the day I rolled off the lot, better than factory spec, and performs that way as well. And also, I'll be explaining to you the future of headlight restoration and why it's just going to get harder. Stay tuned.
I need people like me. They need people like me so they can point their fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Let's get down to business. Okay, before we get started here, I just want to show you this vehicle, which is topping my blacklist. I have a little mental blacklist of what vehicles are a pain in the ass and what vehicles rank at the hardest to do. This one is definitely top 5, and it's one of my standard or normal every other day arch nemesis. It's a 2017 Honda Pilot, and it is a pain in the ass. Just the tape off alone takes about twice, if not 3 times longer than a normal vehicle. This particular one is getting a full frontal, pretty much facelift, I guess. It's getting the headlights, it's getting the fog lights, it's even getting a emblem restoration. So you're going to be seeing not only the headlight restorations, but you're going to be seeing also the emblem restoration and the fog light restoration on top of that. But the main reason why this headlight is just a pain in the ass is because overall surface area is a huge headlight. It is a mid-level large headlight, which means it's not the largest, it's probably like the second to largest headlight. As far as this space from right to left, it's pretty massive. But the main reason is this part here, as you see I had to tape off here. It's a big silver bar running through it, a molding piece, which you can take off. It takes a couple clips, it takes a couple screws, and a couple snap-on points, whatever. But mind you, you think, why not just take it off? Because when you start operating on vehicles, removing parts, removing this and that, you're putting yourself in a different category. Say if you strip out one of those holes and you can't fix it, then what? Now you're buying a fucking part, that one part, middle part, whatever. I don't know, I'm guessing it's probably $600 on a brand new type vehicle like this. So you're going to be, taking this apart and you might snap something and it won't fit in right. It keeps falling off or it jiggles or vibrates. Now you got to replace it. If you don't, you're going to be in trouble one way or another. You're going to get smutted up on your business. They can sue you. They can whatever. All kind of crazy shit can happen. So I make it a point not to do any kind of operations unless the most minimum I will do is the ones with the push pins, because you could easily just replace those push pins. Okay, this one is different. It has a bunch of snap things in that can break off. It has screwdrivers or screws you can lose and all kind of weird stuff. So it's the best position to not do any kind of operation on the vehicle. Plus, it would take a little bit more longer to do this as well. It would, to get all this stuff off, I'm estimating another 10 minutes to take it off, another, 5 to 10 to put it back on. It's just not worth, fucking with or whatnot. But it is absolutely pointless and probably inhibits the maximum light output this light could have had from stock. It's really pointless as shit. Like, it's just fucking nothing. It's just a glamour piece. And, really, these headlights that are coming in the future, be warned. Get your skills up now. Get your skills up with all the older ones, because I'm getting newer vehicles now. And, every year, the need for different years to be restored is going to get pushed up. A little bit by a little bit by a little bit as time moves on. And I'm getting vehicles that are, in my opinion, just like this vehicle, I feel I don't know, it's not conspiracy theories. I don't like to abide in conspiracy theories. I just like to be a realist, and I like the truth, and I like the reality of things. I don't like to get too far into conspiracy theories. Like, a lot of people, one of the biggest ones about the headlight community or about headlights is, oh, they started making these headlights because they wanted to make, more money with having people do headlight restoration and or having replaced their lights. And it's like, I seriously doubt that was the reason and just a side effect of something or other. I actually explained that in this video right here that explains why they do not make them out of glass anymore. Check it out. It's very informative. It's not because they're after more money and this shit and that. It's just because they wouldn't work, in many different ways. And another fun fact that a lot of people don't know is polycarbonate, this substance that pretty much every single headlight out there on the road is made out of now, except the real older vehicles like pre-80s and stuff like that, is made out of polycarbonate. And polycarbonate, believe it or not, on average is anywhere between 200 and 250 times stronger than glass. Okay? So people are like, why don't they make it out of glass? It's stronger. No, it's not. It's not. Look it up. Google it. It is about 250 times on average stronger than glass. And to make these shapes like this out of glass, I could throw a dehydrated pea at it and it would probably crack. So you'd be replacing your headlights so fucking much, it'd be insane. Because of these shapes. It has to do with textile strength. The same reason why, like, if you had like a ball or something, would be stronger than a plate. Okay, if you had a ball of glass and you stood on it, nothing would probably happen. If you had a plate of glass, you stood on it, it would fucking crack in all kind of pieces or whatnot. But anyways, you see that piece right there? I was moving so fast. Had a long day here. I was moving so fast. This is the end of the day. I had a bunch of vehicles to do this day, and had a bunch of drama that happened on the way to do this vehicle. I stopped at a CVS or whatnot to get something to drink, which was literally like 3 blocks up from this guy's house. And when I came out with my water and my Gatorade Zero or whatever, the fucking car wouldn't start, okay? My car wouldn't start, and it turns out it was my battery. I knew it was my battery because my windows wouldn't roll down and up, real quick. They were like stopping. And then, this vehicle, 2013 Acura TL Advanced Package, has a lot of electronical components, and it even has a specialized battery because it has a large hole of, or pull of electrical components. Also, I have a lot of aftermarket beat. Okay, so my battery was zapped. So I had to call a roadside assistance. They had to come out, jump my battery. I had to drive to Costco, get a battery or whatever. And actually, I ended up getting it from Advanced Auto Parts because Costco, which was crazy, which I always go to. I shop there sometimes, from time to time. Did not install the batteries, and I'm like, I don't have my tools here. This particular vehicle has a housing and a case unit that is bolted down with brackets over the battery that you need all these tools to take off. I was like, man, I can't just do this by hand. I don't have tools on me. I have my tools, my restoration tools, but I don't have like tools, right? So they're like, we can sell it to you, but you have to take it somewhere else to get it done. So I was like, forget that. So I just jammed over to Advanced Auto Parts, and got it taken care of, and they installed it for me. Got a die-hard battery, and I'm in the game now. Then I came back to do this guy's pilot right here, and it kind of dawned on me. I wrote it down wrong in my I just wrote down Honda on my my appointment log or whatnot. And I was moving too fast, and I kind of wasn't prepared. I was like, damn it. When I pulled up, I was like, damn it, it was a Honda Pilot. It was a 2017 Honda Pilot, one of my least favorite ones. So nevertheless, I'm at this guy's house like 3 hours later than I was supposed to be or whatever to do his headlight restoration. And this is like the 5th vehicle of the day. It's the end of the day. It's my last one, and it is the hardest one of the day, pain in the ass. So anyways, that's what I chopped that up because I haven't done something like that in a long time. It's a minor mistake, okay? Everybody makes mistakes. not tape off that side there. Okay, I was working on the light and it was like, what the hell? How did I do this? You know, I didn't have enough tape, and it's very dangerous if, especially on these angles here like this. When you're grinding and when you're doing whatever, these angles can catch and stick, and they'll throw your power drill out towards the vehicle, and then you'll just have a bunch of scrape marks or scratch marks or whatever, which I'm trained and I do that for a service, scratch removal, but like I always say, I don't want to make my job harder. I don't want to use time and supplies. Time and supplies is money. I don't want to use those to fix a mistake that I didn't have to fix when I came there. Alright, so it's just a pain in the ass to spend another 30-45 minutes working on the scratch removal, or even if it was 10 or 15 minutes and, $1 worth of materials, I still don't want to do it. It's counterproductive. So always tape off good first. And yes, you see this is taped off very well all the way around, even the fog light and the emblem restoration, which you'll be seeing shortly. But like I said, the future of headlight restoration is going to be harder, so you really want to get your skills up now, because in these next couple years, this next 5 to 6 years, there's going to be a lot of stuff on your plate that's going to be difficult. I see lights right now that I'm prepping for mentally that I honestly don't even want to do, that I'm intimidated by, and you guys are on whatever level you're on. You have to adjust your own level and be true to yourself, how good you are or whatever. But I know myself, and I know I'm exceptional, and I am intimidated by some of these lights. Let's take a look at some of these lights. This is a 2021 Nissan Pathfinder, and it's almost got the same type of thing going on, but it's jacked all the way up to the side of the vehicle there, and it's also got a bunch of indentions, and it's almost like it's a split top part that's kind of butted up against the bottom part, and it's elongated onto the side of the vehicle. It's just weird. It's almost like I said, or like I always say, I think it feels like they're making these headlights so it's damn near impossible or extremely hard for somebody to do headlight restoration. These headlights, of course, when they come up, are going to be a lot, probably 50% upcharge on these headlights, if not more, like 75 or 100%, double the price. Just because it's going to take double the time and double the skill, and just not going to be enjoyable to do at all, and just a major pain in the ass. Before we get into the next vehicle, just wanted to let you guys remind you again, you want to do one side. When you're doing an emblem restoration, you want to do one side at a time, mixed with the emblem restoration, and then move on to the other side. That's the proper order of doing things. And you want to keep them all uniformed and caught up with each other, which means, everything done up into the 800 stage, and then do everything that is the 3000 Trizac stage, keep those even, and then do all the polishing, and then do all of the clear coat. But let's take a look at another one of these things that scare me. This is a 2020 GMC truck. Now look at these headlights, how they suck underneath. They go like a C, and then they divot and dip and have a fin, and it protrude and indent. It's just like, man, this light would take a lot of skill, and even for someone like me, might take about an hour 15 minutes per light. And you know how quick and well skilled I am, so I'm just saying, you got to get your skills up. You got to get your game up, because these lights will come, and you're gonna what are you gonna do? Pass up the opportunity to work on something like that? Better your skills, better your business, better your pocketbook, is what we're all after. You got to get your skills up, okay? I'll show you some more shortly, but let's go ahead and check out this emblem restoration here. And, another fun fact, that these emblems that are like this, you can see them encased in these clear coats or whatever, encased in these plastics, happen to be polycarbonate as well, and clear coated the same way a polycarbonate headlight is from the factory. They're same exact identical. And I was explaining to a customer about this, how the car companies want to minimize their overhead as much as possible, which means using the same materials repetitively as possible. They're not going to change up this one to glass or change up this one to something else, because it makes it harder. It makes them have to have more equipment, more skilled workers, more everything. When you have somebody or equipment that does this, and it can do this different ways, it saves a lot of money. And when you have less purchases and less variants of different materials, it's just going to be better. That's why you can find the same components of different types of plastics and metals in the engine bay all the way down to the end of the vehicle. They're all going to be the same materials or whatnot. But anyhow, this is polycarbonate, and they do go bad, as you see, just like everything else. And one thing about this vehicle, this particular vehicle, and it's not all Hondas of this year, and it's not all Hondas, but this particular vehicle goes bad really fast. I have no idea why. If I had to guess, everything on here is at a forward-facing type of setting. And once again, if you guys haven't watched all my videos, I mentioned in a couple videos, but forward facing is basically this. It's any part of the vehicle that is facing sun overhead most of the time. Anything that's at an angle, because when the sun comes up, it's hitting it. When the sun goes down, it's hitting it. When the sun is midday, 12 o'clock, whatever, it's hitting it. Okay, where most parts of the vehicle, if the headlight is flush and not at a tilt, are not going to get as much exposure, or if they're recessed back in the vehicle, they're not going to get as much exposure. But a lot of vehicles have these headlights that are forward facing at a tilt, or they just have components of it that are flush, horizontal facing the sun. Okay. Yeah, so this makes a difference in how headlights wear down or whatnot, or get oxidized or eroded. Okay, this vehicle particularly, every time I do one, they're always so bad and they're always so messed up compared to any other vehicle that is a Honda 2017 or 2018 or 16. They're really beat up all the time. And, they're made of the same material. Honda doesn't change the headlight structure or the headlight making for just this one vehicle to go bad all of a sudden. No, it just has to do with the placement of the headlights. You can already see it right here. Even this emblem here is set at an angle, like a downward angle, not quite a 45-degree angle, but it's at an angle. You can see it right here. And so are the headlights, and so are the fog lights. The whole front end is at a slope, and that's why the sun is just beating it up. Speaking of arch nemesis, I got a little background noise here. I'm just going to keep pushing forward through this to get it out there. But speaking of arch nemesis, one of my biggest arch nemesis that isn't a vehicle, that is a particular brand of worker, is the landscaper. Okay, much love to them. They're hard workers or whatever, but they piss me off all the time. If I'm working a certain part of the days, or if I'm recording, or if I'm working on headlights and stuff, and I need a sterile area, they're sitting around certain days of the week. They're blowing shit, and it's just like, I gotta sit there and wait for them, because I can't be like, hey man, stop working over here. They got a job to do too, right? But it never hit. A couple times a month, it never fails that they're like blowing and doing all this shit. And it's like, if you're trying to seal your headlight or keep a sterile area, it's like there's no way with them around. They got to be like 2 houses away from you. Trust me, because I've been through this, and where I'm like, damn it, I got all this shit in my headlight, got to do it over, and I should have just waited. So watch out for those guys, okay, because they can be your worst enemy trying to do a headlight restoration. But the basic key to doing a emblem restoration like this is pretty much running through the same steps as you have before on other lights, or as you would with fog lights. It's just a little bit different range of motion because they're so small. Okay, but and a little bit more handwork most of the times. And you just get it done. The same exact thing, same exact program, and you just get it done, and they come out perfect. They come out brilliant. And Other than that, you don't have to stress off emblem restoration. And a lot of people, even headlight restorers, never knew they can do this with these. I did a video a couple months ago about emblem restoration, and a lot of people were shocked that you can do emblem restoration. And as a headlight restorer, and this is your livelihood, or this is your side hustle, or this is just your personal vehicle, you can, benefit from this. You can make more money, or you can just have your vehicle look better than having some fresh, clear headlights and got that beat up emblem or whatnot. Knowledge is power, and, people just didn't know. So if you're a restorer, that's something you can definitely add into your repertoire. You don't just do headlights, you do tail lights, you do fog lights, you do, emblem restoration, you do all that stuff. It's more and more the better. The more money, the more stuff you can do, the more revenue you can generate. That's what you need to. I don't give business tips too much on here. That's in the future, but that's one of the things you want to look into. What else can I do? What else can I do good? Or what else can I, branch off of with just the stuff that I have, all the tools that I have, or with a little bit of extra this, what can I throw in? Why? Because it's more revenue. It's more money. It makes you more important. It makes you more needed. I heard a guy on the internet talking about, I only do headlight restoration or whatever. And he does a cool little job or whatever. But it's like, he kind of was bashing, I only do headlight restoration, I don't do anything else because I'm, so busy, or I'm so, skilled, or I'm so whatever at headlight restoration. It makes no sense. It's totally backwards. Like, I only, I don't do a full body workout. I only work out my chest because you bullshit. You just don't know what the fuck you're thinking. But the more you do, the more things you can do, the more things you can provide means what? The more money you can get, the more busy you are, the more shit you do, the more, you're going to pull up and you're going to just be doing a headlight restoration. You're going to be doing a headlight restoration, emblem restoration, a fog light restoration, an engine bay cleaning, a scratch removal. You can generate more revenue. You can be more important or more needed. Okay. What are they going to do? Like, you don't do this, and now I'm going to have to go over here. And, you don't do this, But it's just needless to say, it makes you more important. It makes you more skilled at doing what you're doing. Like, being that I am an established scratch remover, and also just imagine that, an established scratch remover and minor painter and clear coat fixer and oxidize remover of paint and shit. These are the things that I do. These are the services I provide. Make me better as a headlight restoration than you could be. Okay, better, it would make you better than what you think you could be if you did these things, because you get to understanding how things work better when you're repairing clear coat, when you're removing scratches. I mean, think about it. You can remove scratches from a headlight if you can remove scratches from a paint. You know what I'm saying? If you can clear coat a bumper, I mean, you can clear coat and understand how clear coat works better, and know what you would want and know how to do things better because you are cross-trained. Cross-trained is a lot better. Like, just think about it metaphorically. If you're like, I'm just a quarterback, I don't do nothing else, this and that. Those quarterbacks know any good quarterback knows every good position to the T, knows what they do, know what they provide, even probably knows how it feels to play that position. Okay, if you're just like, I don't know anything about the position, I just throw the ball, that makes no fucking sense. You're not going to be a good quarterback. So I'm saying you could be able to play, but you're not going to be as good as somebody else who knows everything about the game. All right. So just point taken. Never be afraid to branch out. You're gonna, don't restrict yourself. Why would you restrict, your capability to earn? That would make no sense. Okay, so yeah, this is the dab method here, but let me show you another vehicle, one more vehicle I want to show you that kind of freaks me out that's coming up. This is a 2020 GMC Terrain. Now look at this shit here. This is just some fucked up shit. Like, this is how I would design a light when I'm like, okay, people are restoring our headlights. Not to be conspiracy theory or anything, but if I was to design a headlight that said, I don't want people restoring it, it would be that shit. That shit is crazy. Like, why would you even make it like that? Because when it goes bad, not too many people are going to be able to restore that. Okay, you know, they're gonna mess it up, or it's just not gonna look good, or they're gonna be like, hell no, I'm not doing that light, right? And then they're gonna end up having to do what? Buy a whole new light if they want it fixed, because that light is crazy. But this is the future of headlights. Are getting more advanced, and you know, like, you just gotta count on them to be made like this. These lights will be coming up soon, within the next probably 3 years. All the vehicles I've showed you here will probably need headlight restoration within the next 3 years on average. Between the next 2 and 3 years, definitely will need headlight restoration. So it's coming. It's just like, man, what are you gonna do? You gotta get your skills up. I mean, I'm ready. Even though I wouldn't want to, I'd probably do it and it would come out perfect. But it's just gonna, it's gonna take a lot more, which means it's gonna cost a lot more. It's gonna cost a lot more blood, sweat, and tears for me. That means it costs more money. But anyhow, check out this polishing here. A little cool angle here I put up on here. But nevertheless, even though these lights are so much harder to do, these these pilot lights are such a pain in the ass to do. It doesn't stop you from being able to get perfection. It's just harder to get there. It's harder to work on. It's harder. Everything is harder, but you can still achieve that great perfection, especially using this method. Like I said, while we're speaking about the future of headlight restoration, this type of method, this intricacy, and this scientific approach is the future of headlight restoration. As you see all over the internet, as you see on these videos, nothing really messes with this. Nothing tops this. At the very least, something can equal this, and it's a far cry from that. I watch everybody's videos. I watch everything that's on there. I've only seen people to be able to come close to this method, far as appearance and far as other things. And I'm just talking about visually, about a layman's eye, about a regular person that does not know things about headlight health and longevity and just the science of headlights. Okay, just at face value, there's not much out there that stands up to this method. Okay, far as clarity, far as that crystal clear appearance, far as functioning. Okay, that's just at face value. When you start putting in other things like headlight health and things like that, okay, by far nothing is messing with this. Okay, I want to say is fucking with this. Okay, so I'm just gonna say it because it keeps trying to come out. Nothing's fucking with this. Okay, because a lot of these cats will do it and they don't even understand anything about headlight health. They know nothing, zero. They're like, do this. I'm gonna spray this shit on there, and the shit they put on the headlight is going to destroy that headlight in the long run. By the time it has, just to get an extra year, just to get an extra couple months out of the headlight being crystal clear or whatever, and that's not the right idea. That's like, I'm gonna weld on these rims here because it's gonna make my tires last, another year, another 6 months. That makes no fucking sense. That's a metaphor. You don't want to put something on your headlights just because it's an Everclear product that's going to destroy your headlights. It's going to crack and bind your headlights. I mean, literally bind. You're going to have this stuff on there that does not breathe, that's not scientifically made for headlights. Okay, and what happens on most of those, one of the biggest drawbacks of the 2K clears is it's an Everclear product. It does not expand correctly. Okay, it overheats, it bonds too hard, and does not, one of the number ones again, it does not expand correctly. These headlights, believe it or not, this polycarbonate is a flexing material. Okay, it flexes, it breathes, it expands and contracts. When it's hot outside, it blows up a little bit. Okay, if you could measure it under a microscope or a very small measuring, whatever, you would see that it significantly expands, it blows up. And then when it's cold, it constricts. So what happens is where any part of the planet, it's, any part of the planet damn near, it gets cold. It gets like 70 degrees, 60 degrees, 30 degrees, 10 degrees, whatever. And then in the afternoon or, later on in the day or the month or whatever, it gets hot. It gets 70 degrees. It gets 80 degrees, 90 degrees. Here where I'm at, it gets 118 degrees. it gets 105 degrees. You'll have days that'll be like 60 in the morning, and then in the afternoon it'll be 95. So this was happening with these headlights. They're bound in there. What happens if something is bound that flexes? Could you imagine them wrapping something on your lungs where they could not move? What happens? Something's gonna happen, right? Yeah, the shit just starts imploding and shit and cracking. But with this, because they're a hard substance, they start cracking under the pressure. They start cracking, and that's where you get those spider crackings and mass spider crackings all over the lights that I've seen in countless headlight restorations, and they even have videos about it up. But that's one of the hugest issues with it. Like I said, I told a guy in the comments, not all 2K clears are equal. There are some of them that are rather decent compared to the other ones. There's a large spectrum, and that's one of the things. There's so many different kinds out there, but for a reason, there's not really any 2K clear that is designed for headlights. There's one, and it's kind of a scam, and we all know what that one is. Has a red pop top, and what it is it's the same thing, just has a little bit extra UV repellent in it to make it more of a headlight product, but it still has the same issue, that hardener in it, because you have to pop the top. But why isn't there any other ones that say 2K clear for headlights? Hey, buy this can, 2K clear for headlights. Exactly. Why isn't there? Because they know that it will fuck your headlights up. Yeah, exactly. You don't tell me. You will not find more than probably one product that says 2K clear for headlights. Follow me.
I need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.